What's going on, everybody? We are in hour almost 4 of our 2025 NFL Draft coverage live show, and the Philadelphia Eagles just made a trade. A 5th-round pick is all it cost us to leapfrog the Chiefs for some reason. Looking at the board, pro days have been taking a hit. If you're visits, if you're judging Philly, especially for last year, they took Cooper DeJean, Quinyon Mitchell, both brought them in for visits. Hairston was a guy Philly was absolutely interested in. Josh Connerly to the Commanders was a guy Philly was interested in. Malachi Starks at 27 is a guy the Philadelphia Eagles were interested in. Donovan Jackson got a top 30 visit. So maybe the Philadelphia Eagles board got shot. They're worried about the Chiefs. Now here's my worry. Is like, why are they making this move? They clearly are like, well, maybe 3D chess, thinking that Chiefs could trade to some other team. Like maybe they're not necessarily, because I feel like if they're kind of targeting the same position, Chiefs wouldn't have done this trade. But looking at who's available for the Philadelphia Eagles after this trade up, you have Will Johnson. Surprisingly, he's here. Philly did homework on him late. I believe top 30 visit. If not, it was like a virtual thing. Word on the street is knee stuff, according to Rappaport on NFL. Again, any corner selection. And I think he's probably the only one. You also have Trey Amos. Philly showed interest in. Amos, I mean, maybe the value's not there for Amos in the first round, but I think with how Vic nailed Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean, if he sees another corner, like there's our starting 3 for the next 4 to 5 years, I'm fine with whoever he gets. But, worst case scenario with this trade up, worst case, you have the duality of Mike Green, right? The off-the-field issues. But I'd hate the idea. Everyone all had the words. Okay, Howie Roseman is literally on screen right now, losing his mind, so he's over the moon. I'm going to say, based off of the reaction I just saw of the Eagles War Room, feels like Will Johnson. Like they can't believe that he fell to them at that spot, and that's just too much value. But back to the breakdown. I think Mike Green, the whole Howie Roseman came out about like the domestic violence, completely off our board. I think just from a pure pick standpoint, maybe not strong vibes around Mike Green. Also, the argument to make Mike Green top 10 player in this class. Dane Brugler has him as his number 10. I believe Daniel Jeremiah has him, top in the teens. So a pass rusher that fell to the Philadelphia Eagles, where have we heard that story before? However, the off the field doesn't make sense. I was telling Chad earlier, there was a community mock draft on Reddit, and when the Eagles pick came up at 32, I took Luther Burden. I made the argument with Luther Burden that we weren't going to pick up the 5th-year option for Jahan Dotson. Philadelphia, even with how, on the defense, right, maybe they like Josh Uche and Azeez Ojulari more than we like at edge rush. And maybe they don't think edge rush is as big of a priority, even though we know that's what Howie Roseman prioritizes historically. But there could be an argument to be made that, Luther Burden is the most talented guy on the board. He could be our long-term slot wide receiver. He could be the gadget play and just make, ultimate luxury pick for the Philadelphia Eagles. Let's just go get a baller at wide receiver. You have Nick Amon on the board. Freak of nature safety. I don't love the tape for as much as someone that pretends to be a scout on YouTube could like a tape. However, with his traits and intangibles, if Vic Fangio was like, I got a plan for that guy. You're giving me a generation. He's a generational athlete. You're giving me a generational athlete, and I know exactly how he's going to thrive in my scheme. I'm just going to come up from the outside and say, I love that pick. If we get Amon, I am in because that means Vic Fangio went, yep, the same thing that went off in his head that said Cooper DeJean and Quinyon Mitchell, those are our picks. And let's get Jalix Hunt, a converted safety at a Houston Christian at edge rush. And now we're thinking that he could be a starter for us next year. And we're always hoping and anticipating that he's going to be a starter. If whatever bag that Vic Fangio is in says, I'm going to be able to make Nick Amon work, I'm in. Ezuraku out of Boston College, that is my pick at edge rush. If this is the selection, and we have to address the edge rush, Ezuraku's the guy. I am all in. New Jersey, born in Philadelphia, grew up in New Jersey, so local-ish kid. Anytime I watched 4 full Boston College games, he was the best player on the field in all of those games. I'm in. Ezuraku, yes, sir. Mason Taylor. Maybe a little rich, but it does seem like a lot of the insiders, a lot of the guys that are highly regarded, have him creeping into potentially a first round. I think Daniel Jeremiah had a quote that a GM he was talking to knows what he's getting in Mason Taylor, a respected GM, which kind of alluded that it was Howie Roseman. And if Dallas Goedert's good as gone, I can live with Mason Taylor, even if it's not personally my favorite value-wise. Josh Simmons, as a complete shot in the dark, could be the best tackle in this class. You know, Stoutland U, sure, why not? Even though I don't think Lane Johnson's retiring anytime soon, he might have to sit and wait. Jihaad Campbell, I only mocked Jihaad Campbell to Philadelphia Eagles for like my first 5 Philadelphia Eagle mock draft. Now, some of that was before we re-signed Zach Bond. I would love Jihaad Campbell. You know what's better than 1 Zach Bond? 2 Zach Bonds. And 1 in Jihaad Campbell that you probably have both off ball. Have him blitz more. Is that, you know, you never know. I think the utility piece is there. Outside of that, I mean, Schweisinger's the best off-ball linebacker. Wouldn't hate that. Trey Amos, Philly has showed interest in. Wouldn't be disgusted by that. I do like JT Tuimoloau. He's a popular pick for me to select in the second round. But now we're going to who would I not like? I don't love the vibes of Mike Green, but the ultimate, like, no. I'm not going to be too pissed. I'm not going to lose my mind over it like the Jalen Reagor selection and JJ or Sega Whites over DK would be Mick Scoutton. Not a fan. I see a guy that's, at best, a solid run defender. Not a crazy athlete. But I'm not going to lose my mind because if Vic Fangio, who's been in his bag, thinks Scoutton's the best guy to kind of take that Brandon Graham run defender first edge rush, it is what it is. But technically, before this pick comes in, the one I don't like is Scoutton, if that ends up being it. The one I would love, I just broke it down. Let's see it. Turn the volume up here.
The Kansas City Chiefs have traded.
This cost us a 5th-round pick, so not worried about it. We had 4 of them.
With the 31st pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Philadelphia Eagles select Jihaad Campbell, linebacker, Alabama.
So
you know what's better than 1 Zach Bond? 2 Zach Bonds. 4-5 speed. Fuck yeah, man. Let's go, dude. That'll do. That'll do. Like, now that it happened, if I was power ranking, he probably would be number 1 just off of my track record of I had him mock to the Eagles 5-6 mock drafts in a row. Again, that was before we re-signed Zach Bond. Oh, I gotta listen to this, dude. Let's go, dude. I'll be honest. I'd say it's a tie. If all things are equal and we went somewhere different, with this being the board, I'd have Ezraku and Jihaad Campbell as my top 2. And then I'd go Will Johnson, Amon Worry at that next spot. Oh, that's a pick, dude. Because he's one of these guys, I'm not going to say he's positionless, but he's a guy that you have to have an idea how you're going to want to use him. You're going to have to, you know, is he going to be off ball for you? Is he going to be a pass rusher for you? Are you going to have a plan to utilize him in both roles? You can't just, like Isaiah Simmons with the Cardinals, him out there, and hope he figures out. Just a second here. You know what's better than 1 Zach Bond? 2 Zach Bonds. I mean, I love to hear. I mean, right now, poll the room. Eagle fans, Birds Nation. What are we thinking, Jihaad Campbell, dude? Now, why do we have to trade up for him? I guess if I had to throw a slight nitpick, like, were we really worried about the Chiefs? Or like someone trying to trade up with the Chiefs to get Jihaad Campbell? Oh, but I'm living with the dude. That's as good as you could have asked. Big time. I mean, it's what are we looking for? Check it, the checklist. All right, Howie Roseman, big time successful program, check. Freak of nature athlete, big time RAS score, check. That's all you can say, man. Love that selection. I can't wait to see how Vic Fangio utilizes him. I think this might speak slight volumes to how Philadelphia views Nakobe Dean long term. Bad injury. No one knows when he's going to be ready next season. Maybe, maybe you're worried about paying Nakobe Dean because he's shown he can't stay healthy. But, dude, man, what a chess piece for Vic Fangio on the defense. A. I'm not going to be cheesing, giving an A+. That is an A pick. Easy A pick for the Philadelphia Eagles. Perfect landing spot for Jihaad Campbell. Because literally, you're like, well, how's this Swiss Army knife defender gonna? Literally, we did it with Zach Bond, and we're gonna be able to do it with Jihaad Campbell. And I think the mind games that Vic Fangio is gonna be able to play. Oh, just like he's talking here.
Nothing will be possible, without the Most High. You know what I'm saying? And my family and my friends, and just everybody support.
Say something nice about my team.
Mentor me and guided me, throughout my whole journey. So shout out to everybody back at home, man. I'm coming back home. Philly, y'all know what's up. We got to turn up. We got to get lit.
Oh, local guys from Philly? Or is you one of those New Jersey guys? Either way, dude. Let's go, baby. And, by the way, this is going on YouTube's all day. Second round, third round. Those reviews, reactions we posted live on this channel. Day 3 picks. We have a 4th and a 3/5. Those are going to be over on my second channel, More C4. So go subscribe. That's in the video description below. I'll see you guys then. Thank you very much. Go Birds, man. Jihaad Campbell. Let's go.